Now, next is one of the most important concept, user and privileges. Click over here and it will list all the user account which has permission to connect to your MySQL installation. Click over here to hide the left side navigator. On a login screen, we can see the login name, authentication type, limit connectivity to host matching and the password. On account limits, you can specify different limits to this particular user account. For example, you can set max query to some number. This will limit number of queries the account can execute within 1 hour. If you set this number to 40, this particular user from this host can only execute 40 queries within that 1 hour. Similarly, you can also limit them with number of update with max update. If you specify max update to 10, this particular user from that host can only do 10 updates to the database. However, it can run multiple select statements if it has necessary permissions. Similarly, number of connection can be limited as well as number of concurrent connections. If you specify the max connection to 10, that means this particular user from that host can only do 10 maximum connection in an hour. However, if you have also specified concurrent connection to value 5, that means at one particular moment, you cannot have more than 5 connection to MySQL server. Under administrative role, you can have different roles assigned to that user. When you assign role as DBA, it will grant all the permission to that particular user. If you take away DBA permission, that means now user does not have any permission. Maintenance admin grants right to maintain your server. User admin grants user to create login and reset passwords, whereas security admin can manage logins as well as grant and revoke server access. Monitor admin role has rights to monitor server, whereas DBA manager has full rights on all the database. DB designer, which is also part of DB manager role, gives right to create and reverse engineer any database schema to user. Backup admin role is also sub-role of DB manager and gives minimum right to take necessary backup for any database. Replication admin gives right to set up and manage replication in MySQL server. As we select different roles over here, different privileges to the user. When you select or unselect any privileges, they reflect on the role. For example, when I select grant option, it will automatically enable security admin role on a left side. Selecting DBA role gives all the privileges to the user. When we click on schema privileges, it further narrow what user can do in MySQL server. For example, you can select any user and click on add entry. Over here, currently root has access to all the schemas. However, you can restrict that with the help of pattern or particular schema. I can just select schema Sakila for this user and click on OK. User root now only has access to Sakila schema. We will just have to go over here and select various privileges for that particular user. Here, I have provided all the object rights but have not provided any DDL right. That means it can select, insert, update or delete data but cannot create any object inside my server. If you want to give all the rights on Sakila database to user root, we can just click on select all and it will give all the rights on Sakila database. That means user root now can do everything in Sakila database but cannot do anything outside Sakila database. You can delete any entry in this schema privileges screen by selecting the entry and click on delete. Now, in next clip, we will see how we can add new user.